Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city street, but there was always a certain level of chaos or danger until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with a vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans, tonight to the Concord Speedway, the tricky little track here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series presented by Red Light Racing. Tonight, it is the American Tire Distributors 100, and boy, did they bring the trailer full of tires here tonight to the Concord Speedway. They brought 1 set of extra tires for each SK Modified driver here tonight, and we're going to see which one of these drivers are going to need that extra set of tires or which driver is going to be able to hang on to what he has underneath him here tonight. My name is Roger Muth. I'll be up here in the booth tonight bringing you all the racing action here from the Concord Speedway for the Turn 3 Racing Network. And man, you talk about the season. 12 weeks is the season distance for the SK Modified Series, and we are here on week number 9. So only 4 races technically if you count Concord. Then we go to 5 flags, the USA International Speedway and the North Wilkesboro Speedway, the 1987 version that is, for the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe Championship night. So with that being said, the points championship coming in, well, the top 4 drivers, all within just 10 points of each other. A.J. Hamill took back the points championship lead last week with Brian Hacker, the teammate there in second. And to make it a three-peat is so sweet, they put Justin McDuff for the Empire Racing Team in third. Dalton Williamson, the man that's on the outside looking in from the Empire stable, well, he is 10 points back from A.J. Hamill. He's just 2 points back from Justin McDuff, and man, it can really get wild here in the final 4 weeks of the championship hunt here for the SK Modified division. Man, I can't wait. Qualifying has already been done. We inverted the field from last week's top 12 finishing positions, and then we kind of sprinkled in the rest of the field via how they are in the points championship. But it is time to go down and set the lineup here tonight for the American Tire Distributors 100. Our starting lineup here at Concord is brought to us by 6 Rings Racing. Starting on the front row, he drives car number 8. This is going to be the racing school entry of Dan Butler. Right alongside him, it's the Culpeppers number 14 of Brian Bianchi. Starting in position number 3, it's Granny Hips Buckley in his number 2 machine. He'll roll off third. Starting 4th, it's season 1 number champion. It's going to be the 23 out of South Carolina. This is Blade Timmons. Starting in the 5th position out of Ayer, Massachusetts, driving for the Rev Esports team. This is the number 11 of Sean Single. His teammate right next door, they go wheel to wheel. It's the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. It's the Empire Racing Team number 11 Illinois of Brian Hacker rolling off into the 7th position. Starting in the 8th spot, it's going to be the man from north of the border. It's the 42 of Max Terriel. Starting 9th, it's the Strano Brothers Racing, number 43 of Joe Strano. Then it's the 54 of Rex Hoyle. He'll round out the top 10. Starting 11th, we'll go to Justin McDuff. A.J. Hamill, your points championship leader, is 12th here tonight on the starting grid. 13th is going to go to the Higgins Hill Racing Checker Flag Auto Supply, number 40. 14th to the 37NY of Brian Robinson. Bob Higgins in the number 41 Checkered Flag Auto Supply will go 15th. 16th to the man Daniel Tobin Jr. in the 94. Kenneth Yeltz will go 17th on the starting lineup here with Tim Williams in the 18th position. Joe Strano, the number 3, goes 19th here. Then it's going to be Terry Newmaster in the 72. Aiden Alvecchione back here, the youngster. He'll go 21st. 22nd, we'll go to Colin Phillip. And it looks like one driver, the final driver on the starting lineup here tonight, the number 31 of Michael Trevarthen. There's the field. There's the lineup brought to us by Six Rings Racing as that set the American Tire Distributors 100 racing lineup here tonight. We are ready. 22 drivers have made the truck. 22 drivers are locked, loaded, and ready to go here tonight at Concord. It'll be Dan Butler, driver on the front row. He will lead us here to the green flag. A little bit of a slow start here, but we are racing here tonight at the Concord Speedway for the American Tire Distributors 100. Down into turn number 1, there you see the 8 of Butler. He leads us down the back straightaway through the little bit of a kink. It's Butler, Bianchi, Buckley, Timmons, Williamson. 2 wide back here with the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. He's got the number 11 to his inside. Lap number 1 going to go to the number 8 there of Dan Butler as they work down the back straightaway. Butler right now setting the pace, but the battle is right there to stay inside the top 5. Dalton Williamson able to find the bottom groove. He's going to put Sean Single back there to running 6th. Then it's going to be Brian Hacker and Max Terriot right there, 2 champions themselves. Here comes the 23 of Timmons. He'll work to the inside of Granny Hips. Granny Hips going to go up the track down there in turn number 1. Four laps already in the books, and it's all Dan Butler out front here. Granny Hips, Josh Buckley cannot get to the bottom side of the speedway. He's got to get that number 2 down right now. He's stuck to the outside. Checkered flag auto supply entry. Got all the parts and pieces here tonight to have one fast hot rod. Right now, he's just stuck to the outside. Here comes Rex Hoyle in the number 54 machine. Going to take the American Tire Distributor number 54 down to the bottom side of the speedway. He'll pick up that spot. He's going to knock Josh Buckley now outside the top 10. The conveyor belt just around the bottom side of the groove or raceway here tonight is the preferred groove. One other driver up outside of that groove right now is the number 41 of Bob Higgins. There you see the driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts up there. Looks like one driver did not take to the starting lineup. Contact towards the back here. It's going to wad a couple of them up. Bob Higgins, Tony Strano, Kenneth Younce, Michael Trevarthen, Daniel Tobin Jr. all involved back here. Colin Phillip is also involved. That'll be the first caution flag of the evening here at the Concord Speedway. 8 laps in the books. There you see Bob Higgins rolling away with his number 41, trying to see if the toe is still in. Let's take a couple different angles back here at this one. Looks like a couple drivers going for the same real estate down into the corner. Watch that 85. Kenneth Younce takes it down into the corner, slides up just a little bit, but Higgins is trying to come down the speedway at the same time. Colin Phillip, nowhere to go. Michael Trevarthen, nowhere to go. Daniel Tobin, let's ride on board here. See if we can ride on board with Daniel Tobin. You're riding on board with the driver of the 94. He just hits the hooks. He doesn't get involved in this. He just comes to a complete stop, so he's not involved, and no damage done to the Daniel Tobin machine, so he'll just refire and roll it away. Right on board with Tony Strano. This is the 3 machine out of the Strano Brothers Racing Stable. Younce and the 41 of Higgins, and then Strano got involved, and he wound up on top of Colin Phillip there for a little bit. So that's what's going to bring out our first caution flag of the evening. Brings this race to a little bit of a halt to let these drivers catch their breath. They already know where each one of these drivers have to be running here tonight. Started from the pole here tonight, and he has led every lap here tonight. Started from the pole here tonight, and he has led every lap here tonight at the American Tire Distributors 100 for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series. Of course, Dan Butler this past week spent a lot at the Thompson Speedway, where the racing school is based out of. Got some laps in, some laps in there modified. So it looks like 2 drivers are currently down on pit road, the 3 of Tony Strano and the 41 of Bob Higgins. We're going to line them up 2 by 2 here once again, and the iRacing.com pace car lights will turn off. That means we're going racing. It'll be 13 laps in the books when we come back around here. It'll be Dan Butler, Brian B. Yankee, Blade Timmons, Dalton Williamson. There goes the iRacing.com pace car. So here we go. Get ready. Green flag back up. Dan Butler gonna smash the gas, and here we go. Dan Butler's going to lead the first lap back to green flag. Brian B. Yankee just got stuck to the outside with his Culpeppers entry. Just can't quite get down to the bottom side. Here comes the 42 Max Terriel. He's going to make a little contact with the 14 of Brian B. Yankee. B. Yankee's going to slide up the wall. He's going to slap the bars on the right side of that number 14 off the wall, but he's able to hang on to it. Dalton Williamson's going to get by. Now here comes the American Tire Distributor, number 54, and Rex Hoyle. He's going to let his teammate back down in line. Hoyle holds on to that 8th position while Brian B. Yankee falls in line in 6th. Here comes Brian Hacker, the driver out of Huntley, Illinois. He's going to work to the outside here. He's got his teammate A.J. Hamill right behind him. Justin McDuff also in tow there. Battle right behind them, though. That is Joe Strano trying to work his way inside the top 10. He's going to the outside of the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, number 20, and Justin McDuff. So he is trying to get the long way to work around the speedway. Look at Josh Buckley. He has finally found his home down on the bottom side of the speedway in that Granny Hips number 2. Dan Butler will come across the line. He'll lead his 18th lap so far here tonight. He's got Blade Timmons, though, the past series champion of season number 1 for Blade Timmons. Back running a limited part-time schedule here on a Thursday night. We love when we get to see Blade. Of course, he's out there down in the south running his late model also. Rex Hoyle and Brian B. Yankee side by side, the two teammates. Looks like Brian B. Yankee may have wore out the tires just a little bit on the Culpeppers number 14. Big stack up down on the bottom. It looks like Rex Hoyle just did not get back into the throttle. There's the Arts Barbershop number 18 VTNY of Mr. Confusion of A.J. Hamill. Everybody working the bottom side of the speedway. Dalton Williamson, though, trying to work the inside here on the 42 of Max Terriel. Max, using the wily veteran. He'll cross him back over, though. He left him go, and then he hammered back into it, cut down, and there's a battle for the race lead for the first time here tonight. Butler slips up a little bit down in turn 3. He'll lead the 23rd lap here tonight, but that might be it because Timmons has the inside, and he's going to get bumped there by the number 11 of Single. That's going to allow Butler to scoot away a little bit. Butler has a chance to get back down to the bottom side of the speedway, and he will do that. The 11, Illinois of Brian Hack, that spot from the 42 of Max Terriel, so he'll go into P number 5. So Butler is able to hang on to it right now. It's Butler, Timmons, Single, Williamson, and Hacker. Your top 5 drivers, 25 laps already down in this 100-lap main event here tonight. Getting the word that Tony Strano has officially loaded up the number 3. He is done here tonight at Concord, so an early exit for the driver out of Wisconsin. Tim Williams here checking underneath the 43 of Joe Strano, the brother to Tony Strano. And he's going to be sideways. That's the 45 of Tim Williams. The driver out of Canada, the Platinum RV PK, can hang out on the right rear. Brian B. Yankee losing a couple spots here. A.J. Hamill gets on by him. Here comes the number 20 of Justin McDuff. That's going to put Brian B. Yankee back to the 10th position. He has a chance, though, to get back down here in front of the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. And it looks like he will find the bottom side of the speedway. No, he slides up in turn 3. Buckley going to show the nose. Bianchi going to slap the wall that time out of turn number 3. And Buckley and Strano had to check up just a little bit. Buckley gets a great run through that little kind of a kink, that tri-oval. Battle up front, though. Something happened to Dan Butler, and we missed it. pile up on the front straightaway. A couple of them going around. Couple drivers having an issue here in the front straightaway. It looks like Rex Hoyle has turned around, the 43 of Joe Strano. Justin McDuff also turned around up here. So a couple of your top 10 competitors here on lap number 32 getting together to bring out the second caution flag of the night here in the American Tire Distributors 100. Let's take a look back here and ride with, or at least look to see what happened. Oh, this was out in front here. It looks like Brian Hacker and Sean Single got together. And it was a whole big chain reaction. I'll have to go back and see. This is possibly what... Oh, Sean Single was out of shape. Brian Hacker nowhere to go. And you hear all the chaos going on in the background there. Sean Single was able to pull away. Rex Hoyle, Justin McDuff, nowhere to go. Just kind of innocent bystanders here. Joe Serrano parks it up against the inside wall. Right on board with Justin McDuff. Looked like maybe Dalton Williamson actually got a little piece of Sean Single there. Sean Single getting into the back of the 54 of Rex Hoyle then. Turning Hoyle around, and Justin McDuff, who you're riding on board with here, no fault of own, getting wrapped up in it. From Joe Strano's point of view, oh, he does get actually tangled in there pretty good. Made contact with the 45 of Tim Williams. So an interesting one here. Everybody stacked up. We talked about how these drivers here tonight had one set of tires. They needed it. Does not look like anybody has taken the American Tire Distributor trip to pit road for tires. iRacing pace car lights are off, which means it'll be Timmons, Butler, Williamson, Hacker, Terriel, Single, Hamill, Bianchi, Buckley, and Rob Higgins rounding out the top 10 here when we go back racing. It'll be 36 laps in the books here tonight. Coming back into the restart zone, green flag back up into the air, and a great start there by the 8 of Dan Butler to the outside. He'll be able to hold serve as, oh, the one got a little tight down on the bottom side of the speedway, started to make a charge up the banking, but look at Butler charge down into turn number 3. He'll ride a little wide, see if he can carry the momentum. Couple of them going around towards the back of the field. Daniel Tobin, the 37 NY of Brian Robinson. Looks like Aiden Alvecchione came to a complete stop. There's Tim Williams. He was involved. Back-to-back caution flags here at Concord on lap number... Back-to-back caution flags here at Concord on lap number 38 as we were coming back to complete the first lap back to green flag racing. Let's take a look. A little contact from the 45 and the 37. Daniel Tobin just wrapped up in it. Call it 3 cars involved. Actually, it's Tobin, Williams, and Robinson. Right on board with the 37 NY of Brian Robinson. You heard him off the gas, not even trying to go into the corner, and unfortunately gets wrapped up in it. Rough one for those guys. They were all battling for the 15th position at the time of caution. So as we close in here tonight on the halfway point home, we're just 10 laps away We got to thank all you viewers tuning in here tonight, whether you're tuning in live on the Facebook live feed or if you're watching over on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube and it's your first time here watching the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified series, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Get a notification anytime we go see here on a Thursday night. And on Monday night, we bring you the High Banks, where the Scrambler series comes in. Or whether if you just like super speedway racing, we have that too. If you like dirt track racing, we got a slew of that. We even have, well, for all you road course fans, we bring you racing on... for all you road course fans, we bring you racing on the road courses also. iRacing pace car lights go out this time if we can get this one back underway. There you see the 54 of Rex Hoyle down on pit road. He's got 54 of Rex Hoyle. Looks like Terry Newmaster is the only one that did not take the green flag here tonight, so Terry Newmaster being scored 23rd. Tony Strano is 22nd, with Bob Higgins back there at 21st. Joe Strano is now 20th. Timmons and Butler going to do the jig here once again. A great turn one, good turn two there by Butler in the outside lane, but Timmons has the preferred lane on the inside. He'll rocket off of turn number 3. He'll take the first lap of green flag at the line. Still not going anywhere, though. There is that pesky number 1 of Dalton Williamson, the youngster out of Tampa, Florida. Now has control of the second spot. A.J. Hamill in the Arts Barbershop entry has now officially taken over third. Dan Butler. Sean Single making a charge back to the inside of the 42 of Max Terriol. That's the battle for 5th. Josh Buckley back up inside the top 10 here. He is running 7th right now. Look at Michael Trevorthan. The driver out of Florida has picked up, at this point in the race, 15 positions. You want to talk about coming through the field. He has one little scrape on the left-hand side of that car, and that came while he was trying to avoid the wreck on the front straightaway. It's right there on those Nerf bars. Otherwise, that car is absolutely beautiful here tonight, as he has now picked up his 16th spot as he went around Josh Buckley. Brian Hacker, who comes into the night as second in the championship hunt. He has come to pit road twice to get damage on that number 11 Illinois fixed. He's back to running in the 15th spot. Battle for the race lead. Dalton Williamson now has the inside advantage here as he puts Blade Timmons to the outside. A.J. Hamill's right there. Let's see what kind of line Hamill is going to take. Does he think the inside lane here with Dalton Williamson is going to be the place to be? Butler going to slide up the track a little bit that time in 3. Timmons still able to hold serve at the line. Who's going to lead next time by for halfway? Nerf bar check between the two race leaders. Williamson slides up the track. He slams the number 23 of Blade Timmons. Timmons holds onto it at the line. It is going to be the number 1 of Dalton Williamson, being our 3rd race leader here this evening. You want to talk about close quarters racing here? Look off the back here, the rear deck lid of the Racing School entry with the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe onboard camera. Look at how close Sean Single is. He is right there all over the 8 of Dan Butler. Then you got to go all the way back. Brian Bianchi's back there in 10th. And actually, you just heard a little Nerf bar contact there. The front bars of the 11 to the back bars of the number 8 of Dan Butler. Of racing this really is. So now Dalton Williamson, the youngster, he was 4th in that championship hunt. Remember, only 10 points out behind A.J. Hamill. Hamill back there running in 3rd, doing exactly what he needs to do. Dalton's doing what he has to do to try and close the gap on that points championship. Your front 3 have now separated themselves from Sean Single. Single back there running in that 4th position. Timmons took a look to the inside that time out of turn number 4 on the number 1 of Dalton Williamson, but wasn't able to do anything with it, so he just tucks back in line. He doesn't want to lose a spot to A.J. Hamill at this point. Of course, A.J., after last week's win, had to start back into the 12th position, so he's up 9 spots, running 3rd over the halfway home point. Dan Butler really starting to fade now here at the halfway point. Max Terrion is all over him. One car getting ready to come back out onto the racetrack. It's the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, number 20 of Justin McDuffie, needs to try and see if he can pick up a couple spots. A couple drivers out ahead of him are out of this event here, so if he comes out here and can turn a couple laps with his number 20, he should be able to pick up 2 spots. And, of course, he needs every spot here in the points championship hunt that he can get. That 3-car breakaway has now become a 4-car breakaway because Sean Single has closed in on the back of the Arts Barber Shop, number 18 of A.J. Hamill. Taking a look at it right now, the last driver on the lead lap was the number 11 Illinois of Brian Hacker, but he will go to pit road with damage on his machine. As Dalton Williamson going to leave the door open once again out of turn 4. Timmons did take the look, just was not able to do anything with it. 40 to go when we come back around here to the line. Going to be 40 laps to go. Lap times right now about, call it 0.6 of a second slower than when we started this event here. Fastest car last time by was A.J. Hamill at the line. Max Terrell going to take the peak down here in 3 on Dan Butler. He's going to be able to take the spot. That'll push Butler back to running 6. Here comes Michael Trevarthen, hungry like a wolf. He is pouncing on this as he smells blood in the water. Butler going to stay to the high side in his 8. Here's Josh Buckley. Old granny hips going around the Page chiropractic machine. Maybe Josh Buckley needs to take his granny hips over and see Page and get a little work done. One driver slow down on the bottom side of the speedway. That's the 54 of Rex Hoyle. He is back out limping around, the American Tire Distributor, number 54. Out front, nothing has changed, though. It's still Williamson, Timmons, Hamill, and Single. Max Terrell has got around, of course, Dan Butler as he faded back to the 8th position. Last time by, Max Terrell was the fastest driver on the speedway. He just matched the leader of Dalton Williamson that time by at the line. This time by checking the last lap at the line, and boy, Max Terrell 0.3 of a second faster than race leader Dalton Williamson. Question is, how hard is he pushing the tires of that number 42 to try and run down those top drivers? You don't know if we're going to get another caution flag here tonight or not. These drivers here in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series have a tendency to go on long green flag runs. We don't typically see a lot of very clean, respectful racing here on Thursday nights. And when the field starts to get strung out like they are, we may not see another caution here tonight. So Max Terrell doesn't want to take the chance. He has to go like it's the final lap right here. Your race leaders are closing in on the slower car. That's the number 41 of Bob Higgins. There you see him right on board, and check out how fast those leaders are running down Bob Higgins. He's going to move to the outside. He's going to let all 4 of those race leaders just duck right on by to the inside. He doesn't want anything to do with those top 4 drivers and the race that's on for the race lead. That's the gentleman move right there by the 41 of Bob Higgins. He'll get the Attaboy Award here tonight of moving up out of the groove. We talked about how it was a 4-car breakaway. Max Terrell, once again, last time by at the line, the fastest car at the stripe. Sean Single starting to fade here a little bit. A.J. Hamill here, the 23 of Timmons. As those drivers continue to turn laps here tonight at the Concord Speedway. And the American Tire Distributor 100 here tonight. There's your biggest mover so far of the race. The only driver that has picked up double-digit spots. Starting shotgun to the field, the number 31. The newly hired gun over at the Rev Esports Group of Michael Trevarthen. Of course, that news breaking via Facebook the other day, that Michael Trevarthen joining the Rev Esports Group. He doesn't have a paint job in the SK Modified yet. Of course, neither does Sean Single, and he's been part of the team for like a whole season now. Maybe Dalton Williamson will work on that if he wins here. Maybe we'll get to talk to Dalton at the end of this one, because next time by, it'll be just 25 laps to go. And Dalton Williamson, still the race leader, the Rev Esports, BK Paints, Platinum RV and Services, McConey Setup Shop driver. Sees 25 to go at the line, and his he is going to be closing in on lap traffic. That lap traffic is going to be the 271 of Aiden Alvey, the rookie this season out of Charleston, South Carolina. He is the youngest driver in the SK field here. The teenage currently running back into the 14th position. Right ahead of him is Brian Robinson, the 37NY. And then it is this driver. It's the underfunded motorsports driver. The direct wholesales Rustin Rose Tees machine. It's the auctioneer of Kenneth Younts. So those three drivers are on the verge of getting your leaders right onto the back door of them with 22 to go this time by. A.J. Hamill is really starting to turn the wick up on that number 23 of Blade Timmons. A.J. Hamill has the points championship lead, though, coming into the night, so he really has to be patient. Has to really think about the moves that he is going to make here. You don't want to throw away a podium finish if you're sitting there trying to just get second position. You got to think methodical here. But then you also got to worry about this driver who just got around Sean Single, and it was like Single was sitting still tied to a boat anchor. Max Terriot made real quick work of the driver of that number 11 machine. So it'll bump Single back to running fourth. Max Terriot, who's still turning some of the fastest laps of the race, they're now in fourth with 20 laps to go, and Dalton Williamson is in lap traffic. You ride on board there, you see, oh, he had to get out of the throttle. Aiden Alvey got a little loose down there through turn number 2. Vecchione going to roll the bottom side of the speedway, making all the race leaders go around the outside. He's going to get down out of the way, but it's going to hamper the entry here of A.J. Hamill. Little contact, the 37 and Y of Robinson going to go around. Hamill's going to hit the wall. Sean Single's going to run into Hamill. The caution lights are on the speedway. The 37 and Y of Brian Robinson, the 18 VT of A.J. Hamill are involved. Who is the other one involved? We're going to have to look back. Your race leader of Dalton Williamson was looking to make a move. Did Dalton Williamson... Oh, it looks like something happened to the 37 and Y. Something may have broke down in turn number 1. Right on board with the helmet camera here with Brian Robinson. The car went straight. He was down on the apron with the left front, and then all of a sudden, the car went right. Possibly a sim malfunction on the 37 and Y. As you see the 18 of A.J. Hamill roll away very slowly. Take a ride with A.J. Hamill here. He was trying to work around Aiden Alvey. Alvey down to the bottom. There was just no 18. Just looped it around, and he got clocked there by one of his competitors driving by. Let's see if we can zoom out a little here and see. I believe that's going to be Sean Single that comes into the picture. Sean Single does get into the left rear, and then Single goes up into the outside wall in the number 11. There you see A.J. Hamill back out onto the raceway. He has been down on pit road. There are no quick repairs here on Thursday night. None of the Red Light Racing Series runs quick repairs. So A.J. Hamill just had to go down and see if the toe was knocked out of that number 18. He should restart just outside the top 10. So it'll be Dalton Williamson, Max Terriot, Michael Trevarthen, Joshua Buckley, Dan Butler, Rob Higgins, Brian, Kenneth Younts, and Blade Timmons. Timmons came down and he put on 4 fresh tires with 13 laps to go. It'll only be 12-lap shootout. So it'll be 12 laps for Timmons to see if he can work his way back up here to Dalton Williamson. Put the board and let's fire him off. 12 laps to go as Dalton Williamson works the inside. Max Terrell going to try and take a back-off approach here, and he will be able to get down to the bottom side of the speedway. Here comes the 31 of Michael Trevarthen, though. He'll take the peak. Not going to be able to fill the hole. Dan Butler, Josh Buckley do the jig, and Buckley going to really sail it off into turn number 1. Granny hips really felt good going into turn number 1. Butler's going to have to settle for P number 5 right now. Daniel Tobin Jr. digging for more, trying to get underneath the number 14 of Brian Bianchi. But look at Blade Timmons. He's just going to go to the outside. 4 fresh tires and 10 laps to go. He says, boys, I got to go. But Timmons makes quick work of the 94 of Tobin. Now he's going to go after Bianchi, see if he can get to the inside here going down into turn number 1. He knows he has to make the passes as fast as he can. He's going to have to be like the Roadrunner. Beep, beep. Has not been able to get around Brian Bianchi in the number 14. Dalton Williamson, though, is going to see 8 laps to go here. 8 to go tonight here at Concord. It's Williamson, it's Terrill, it's Trevarthen. I'm trying to think back and page through the notes with 7 laps to go. The last time Michael Trevarthen was able to wind up on the podium on the Thursday evening with the SK Modified Series, and I don't believe he has ever parked the 31 on the podium. Trying to get Jerry, the stat guy, over here to quickly page back through the last 4 seasons. And he's also just shaking his head like he doesn't see the name Michael Trevarthen on the podium. So what a night it could be for Michael Trevarthen. With 5 to go, though, it's the Hi, How Are You lap. Dalton Williamson, do not take a peek in the back mirror, because that is the storm from the north blowing in on the back bumper here, the number 1. Michael Trevarthen, and take a peek back there. There's the battle as here comes the number 40 of Rob Higgins taking a peek to the inside on the number 8 of Dan Butler. He's not able to make anything happen. Here comes Blade Timmons now working the outside of the speedway. 4 laps to go, and Timmons is now inside the top 5. He may need a caution flag here, though, to close in. He is sitting 6th as Butler right now holds down that 5th position. Butler's not going to turn over and just give it to that 12. Timmons is actually, he's going to go high down out of turn number 2. With 2 laps to go, Blade Timmons now picks up that 5th position, but the popsicle sticks are going here tonight at the Concord Speedway. 2 laps to go with the American Tire Distributors 100. Here's the battle for the race lead. Here comes Max Terrill. He has the inside of the BK Paints number 1 of Dalton Williamson. He won't be able to get there. It is 1 lap to go, presented by Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe. Final trip around here, last-ditch effort into turn number 3 for the 42 of Max Terrill. Not going to be able to do it. The American Tire Distributor 100 will go to Dalton Williamson. Max Terrill, Michael Trevarthen, Joshua Buckley, Blade Timmons rounding out the top 5. So Dalton Williamson will hang on to pick up his 3rd win of the season. First driver to get 3 wins as he gets a little nudge there from Timmons and a little bit of congratulatory bump. So Dalton Williamson will pick up the win here tonight. Max Terrill, Michael Trevarthen all rounding down the podium spots. We'll see if we can get a word in with all 3 of your podium finishers after we take a quick break here. We'll be back and see what Dalton Williamson has to say after an exciting one here tonight at the Concord Speedway. Welcome back here, race fans, to the Concord Speedway. The American Tire Distributors 100 is officially in the books here, and it was an exciting one here from this very tricky three-turn track. Here on iRacing, the Concord Speedway always puts on a good show, and especially when the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series comes to town, and they just never disappoint us here on a Thursday evening, race fans. But without further ado, let's head down to the trackside and let's get a word in with our race winner here tonight. It's the driver of the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Dalton, you park it in victory lane, but it wasn't an easy one here tonight. You had to pick up 5 spots to park at P number 1, but then you had Max Terriot knocking on the back door at the end of this one. How were you able to work your way through the field here tonight and hang on for the race win?
Apologize to Blade. I was a little hard there when I was behind him. I didn't mean to get into him that many times. I appreciate everybody running me clean up front, but I don't know. They did something to the setup versus here last season, and I don't know if it's a new tires or what it was, but it was definitely harder to save tires up front, and I thought Max was going to get me there at the end to keep him behind me, and I tried cooling him down the best I could, and there at the end, I just kind of hoped it sticked on the high lane coming out of 3 and 4.
And you were able to hang on. Were you worried at all that maybe the bump and run was going to come here? Because it's short track racing, and the gloves always come off with under 5 laps to go.
You know, I mean, I don't know if Max races like that, but if he did, man, and, you know, worst comes to worst, if I would have got looped or something, I wouldn't even been mad about it. I mean, that's just short track racing. You know, it's a blast, a lot of fun. You know, I appreciate Max running me clean to run against, you know, Brian, Josh, you know, Empire Racing, their whole crew, man. I mean, it was a blast tonight. That's probably, you know, hard to say. I know I say it every interview, but it seems to be that these races get more fun each time I do them. You know, I'm just going to try to go after the championship crown this year.
Well, that's definitely what it's always all about. You came in the night, though, sitting 10 points back of AJ Happ is definitely going to shrink as a couple of those competitors out ahead of you kind of had some rough goes of it here tonight. So a good run for you, Dalton. You're the first man, by the way, to 3 wins on the season. Congratulations on that one. And I know there's a long laundry list of sponsors on the side of
Appreciate it, Roger. First and foremost,
laundry list of sponsors on the side of
appreciate it, Roger. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Turn 3 Racing Network, Checkered Flag Auto Supply for sponsoring the SK Series, man. Josh, Dan, you know, you guys that broadcast Turn 3, all the admin in here, man, they do a great job with this league. As far as and other than the admin in here, man, they do a great job with this league. As far as and other than that, not too much. Everybody on Reb Esports.
Well, there you hear it, short, sweet, and to the point from your race winner here tonight. Dalton Williamson will win, and he will possibly, we're waiting to see how it all shakes down out of the tree. He may be your new champion for this one. Let's keep the show moving along, though, here. Standing by, it's Max Terriot. Max, you had a great shot at this win here tonight. What did you need to get around that number 1 of Dalton Williamson?
Probably a few more laps. After the mid-race part, I saved a little bit of the right rear, which gave me good runs at the end, especially off of 1 when the car got a little bit loose. And but overall, coming from 8, battling through traffic a couple of times, a solid second place finish for the points, so we'll take it.
Yeah, when you look at it, you know, you're trying to go after the championship, the big picture, really, you know, it comes fold here because, like you just heard us say to Dalton, those drivers that were out ahead of you, 1, 2, and 3 in the championship standings, they had some lackluster nights performance here. So 21 points coming into the night. It's going to look top 5 positions and only 3 races left. What's it going to take, though, to win another championship here on Thursday?
It'll take consistency from one week to the other. It's a different approach going to the front. Next week, starting 11th, it'll be much further. But hopefully we get out there clean and another top 5, and we'll see how it goes till the end.
Well, congratulations tonight on the podium, Max, who's all back home watching tonight.
My friend Max, NMK Medic, and my dad, they're all watching Turn 3 Network, the broadcasts that you put on. Big thanks to Josh and Checkered Flag Auto Supply League and the generosity of Bob and Rob Higgins for sponsoring the whole series this year again.
There you hear it, race fans. Max Terriot coming home, running P number 2 here tonight at the Concord Speedway. And that leaves one lonely soul standing over here. And I know I see you chuckling, Mike. Mike, congratulations on your first ever podium finish and becoming one of the newer members of the Rev Esports group. Man, you picked up the most spots here tonight. How did you come from shotgun to the field to finish third?
Yeah, I used up a little bit of the equipment coming through the field, so definitely didn't have anything for Dalton or Max. It was a good race. Starting shotgun on the field, had a lot of cars to come through, a couple melees to come through, but definitely worked out. Maybe you should come in our race room, give us luck before.
Yeah, I gave you a little pep talk down there, and it was only to you. It wasn't to the others, but I guess Dalton took it as I was talking to him too. But tell us about the transition here, work factor in tonight of how the setup was put into the 31.
I think it did. Me, Dalton, Tim, and Sean put a lot of laps in this week, and that's what it's all about. Putting in the work to make sure these cars are set up properly and getting around these tracks, fast and make sure they can rotate the center and save the tires. And there's a lot of work that goes into it, just not jumping in on Thursday night and hope for the best.
Well, I tried that once, and I think I ended up flipping Buckley before we took the green flag one time, so that's why they stuck me up here, and now they won't let me out. But hey, it's good watching you out there, Trevarthen. First ever podium here on a Thursday evening, so who made this all possible on this brand new machine?
Yeah, I definitely want to thank Turn 3 Racing Network. You do a hell of a job in the broadcast, man. I enjoy watching it. I want to thank Josh and the admins with Red Light for putting this league together. I want to thank Josh and the admins with Red Light for putting this league together. We have a lot of fun, a lot of great drivers in here. Definitely want to thank American Tire Distributors for coming on board, Checkered Flag Auto Supply, and just all the drivers in here. And definitely want to give a shout out to Rev Esports. Like I said, great group of guys.
There you hear it from the new. He will come home sitting there in P number 3. Congratulations to him, as boy, what a race he put on. It would have been great to see him go up there and slug it out with the 42 of Max Terriot and Dalton Williamson in that one machine, but it was all Dalton Williamson here tonight picking up the win. Take a look at the unofficial results here tonight as we get ready to leave the Concord Speedway here after the American Tire Distributor 100. Take a look at those top 12 drivers right now. You see Williamson, Terriot, Trevarthen. Well, they're going to start down there 12th, 11th, and 10th next week when we head off to, I believe, which is going to be the Five Flags Speedway down there in Pensacola, Florida. Now you see Aiden Alvecchione, AJ Hamill, and Kenneth Younts. Those 3 drivers are going to start inside the top 3. And you talk about AJ Hamill. Yeah, tonight he came in as the points championship leader. He's not going to leave tonight as the points championship leader. But by him staying with it here tonight and coming back out and finishing in that 11th position, that's going to net him a good starting spot when we head down to the Five Flags Speed. It was here tonight. And race fans, you talk about races and you talk about tracks, and this is one of those unsung tracks that always get left off as some of the best races of the season. This one's going to go down into the record book of one of the good ones that we've seen here at Concord, and I can't wait till we can get back here to do it again. But that's about going to do it here tonight for everybody at the American Tire Distributors, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody at Red Light Racing. I'm Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you enjoyed this program here from the Concord Speedway. We will catch you on next Thursday night from the Five Flags Speedway for the Rev Esports 100. Till then, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we will see you at the races.